Hey, Canucks fans, the Canucks players held their year-end media availability. I watched the whole thing this morning. I want to give you my insights on what I saw and what I heard. But before that, two quick announcements. The first one, for members, legends, Hall of Fame franchise members, doing my monthly Ask Me Anything vlog tomorrow. So go to my community tab or the members only page, and you can leave me a question for my vlog tomorrow. And more importantly, I have launched my annual playoff pool. It's a playoff confidence pool. It's way more interesting than a typical bracket pool. So if you want to enter, I had 55 people enter last year at $15, not 50, 15, 15, and the winner took home $500 last year. So if you want to check it out, it's the easiest pool you ever do. And I won't bore you with the details here, but all you got to do is check out the link in my description and then just click on it, and it has all the rules right there. Your entries and payment are due on Wednesday if you want to join. Let's talk about this media availability. They did 4 groups of 4. So that's 16 skaters or 16 players, I should say. And so obviously not everyone got to be in front of the media. I don't know if the Canucks wanted everyone in front of the media. I don't even know if the media wanted all the players. So they put out, I guess, the 16 players that they thought people would want to talk to. So the first crew, the heavy crew, most of the heavies, it was JT Miller, it was Elias Pederson, it was Brock Boeser, and it was Filip Hronek. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go through every single question, every single answer, make too long of a video, but I'm going to kind of talk about what each guy said, maybe one thing that stood out from each player. So with Pederson, he really talked about, I think the most intriguing thing to me was when asked about his contract extension. We know that he's got 1 year left on his contract, his second contract, and now he's open to negotiating extension starting on July 1st. So he said that he likes playing here, but he hasn't admittedly put a lot of thought into it yet, and he'll take it as it comes. But he did reiterate that he likes playing in Vancouver. So he didn't give the biggest, massive, glowing endorsement ever that, yeah, I'm going to be here forever. This is my home. But at the same time, he wasn't going to do that. That kind of hurts his bargaining power. He said the right things and said that he likes playing here and the direction that this team is going. So nothing too exciting there. Then next to him was Filip Hronek. He's a man of very, very few words. He says he likes it in Vancouver and he'll be ready to go for next season. And that was it. He had like 4 different answers and he didn't say a lot. And that's kind of the way we've kind of seen the way he's been since he's been here over the past 2 months. So not much to say about Hronek. JT Miller had a lot to say. I really like my takeaway is I've always liked it when JT Miller is honest, when he's not too passive aggressive with the media. And I thought today he was great. He basically took a lot. What I appreciate the most about JT Miller is he took ownership. He took accountability for the times that he was not playing well, especially at the start of the season under Boudreau, when he was smashing a stick behind Delia's head on the crossbar or making bad turnovers. He talked about that he needs to be better, and he recognized that he wasn't playing really well at that time. So good on JT Miller for saying all of that. And he joked, or not really joked. He says he doesn't think he's going to get traded, and he does think that this is a team that can improve and improve very quickly. But he said this season was crazy, and that I think everyone needs the time off. So nothing wrong with anything that JT Miller said. In fact, I really liked the way he took accountability for his own actions. And then the fourth on that panel was Brock Boeser. The biggest thing that I heard about Brock is that, especially with this last quarter of the season, he does not want to get traded. Where Miller said he doesn't think he'll get traded, Boeser said he does not want to get traded, and how much he loves it here. He loves the city, loves the fans, and he loves his teammates. So that was the first crew. The second crew that was Connor Garland, Quinn Hughes, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Thatcher Demko. Garland bristled. I didn't say bristled. That's too strong a word. But he said, his hat trick in the last game of the season wasn't a big deal because it was the last game of the season to non-playoff teams. And he said he doesn't feel like he's being underutilized here in Vancouver, even under Rick Tocchet, how much he loves playing for Rick Tocchet, which was a common theme, which I'll get to in a second. Quinn Hughes talked about how not only he's excited to watch his brother Jack in the playoffs, but he still thinks he's got more to grow to become even a better player. He talked about his improvement in the last 3 years from 20 years old to 23. Now he talked about the next 3 years from 23 to 26, how much he wants to become a more complete player still, how he wants to become more of a leader. And this guy's got captain material written all over him. Oliver Ekman-Larsson talked about how he broke a foot He broke his foot in the World Championships last June, and he was never really fully recovered at training camp. And basically, it slowed him down the entire season. You kind of wish they figured these things out in the summer, but I'm sure they did. But it actually contributed a lot to his very poor season. He wants to come back even better, and he also had some really nice things to say about Quinn Hughes, both his leadership off the ice and on the ice, and of course his amazing playing ability. And Thatcher Demko, one really funny thing was the question was, when your teammates say that they should be able to win every game when Thatcher's in net, and they have so much confidence when Thatcher's in goal, and when he's injured, it really makes a big difference. Does that put a lot of pressure on you? And he says, nothing compared to the pressure of playing in this market kind of thing. So that was kind of funny. Demko, very, very kind of measured words, very quiet. And nothing bad about it. He's not a very talkative person, and he simply talked about how he didn't really feel right coming at the start of the season. So yes, even before his injury, he felt like he wasn't 100%, and that's not a surprise to anyone who followed this team. So that was the second batch. Third batch was Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, Myers, and Tanner Pearson. Andrei Kuzmenko used Ilya Mikheyev as his interpreter, not his translator. Don't get me started on that. My goal is to teach the world that interpretation is verbal and translating is written. So Mikheyev served as Kuzmenko's interpreter. Kuzmenko just simply said how much he loved being here, how much he loved his first season in the NHL. Not a lot there, and the language barrier obviously didn't help. I think people really wanted to hear him speak in English, but he decided not to. Mikheyev said he's probably going to stay in the summer, stay here for at least until May, June to do more rehab, then maybe sneak back to Russia for a little bit, then come back. But he's still going to have a lot to work on his injured knee. So not a lot there. Kind of a disappointing season for him. And we know he suffered that injury way back in preseason. Then you had Tyler Myers, who, say what you want about Tyler Myers on the ice, but off the ice, I think he's good with the media. He never speaks flippantly. He's quite intelligent actually in the way he forms his response. And the question to him was, do you think this team as a whole was too cocky or too confident, overconfident? And he goes, he can't say that. It's easy to say now, or it's hard to say now, actually, is what he said. But he spoke to the fact that he needs to play better, and as an acknowledged leader on the team as well. And he spoke glowingly about Pederson and Hughes' leadership capacity and potential as well. And then Tanner Pearson, this was the tough one for me. I won't recap the whole thing. You guys have to go back and watch the replay. But about 6 or 7 questions about him, his hand. Is he going to play? Is he mad at the Canucks? Is he going to file a grievance? All these things. And it's because they haven't had a chance to talk to Tanner Pearson since November when he had his injury. But Tanner Pearson, understandably, didn't want to say much, because if there is going to be a legal suit, or if there's going to be a grievance or whatever, obviously he doesn't want to tip his hand now or say too much. So he kept referring back to, he just wants to play hockey again. He's going to try and meet certain benchmarks. He's going to work hard on the summer. It was tough to come to the rink every day and work out, but not be with the guys all the time and going on road trips and stuff. And he basically said it's affected his quality of life, both as a husband and as a father. And to me, that was the most moving thing for me. It's one thing to not be able to play hockey, the game you love, which I'm not understating, but if it's affecting your quality of life as a husband and father, that's really, really tricky. So he basically brushed off any questions about what's going to happen in terms of off the ice legal or grievance, all the kind of things. But you can tell he's not happy. He's really upset with the way things have happened, and you got to feel for the guy. After playing for 15 years, and now this is happening to him. So we'll see how, I don't know, 15 years, but it seems like it, but we'll see where that goes. The final group was a shorter group, not in terms of height, but in terms of how long they're out there. It was Ethan Bear, it was Anthony Beauvillier, it was Dakota Joshua, and it was Kyle Burrows. For Ethan Bear, the question about him being named in the season ticket memo kind of thing as one of our core players, yet he doesn't have a contract. He says, we'll just have to see. But it sounds like Ethan Bear likes it here. With Anthony Beauvillier, he said he was fine, that he likes Rick Tocchet, and he was getting challenged going up and down the lineup. Then Thomas Strands asked him at the very end about Bo Horvat's comments, and he just said basically what I've been saying all along. It's not a big deal. Horvat was talking about the excitement of being a playoff push and not talking about the fans are better in New York than they are in Vancouver. Dakota Joshua talked about his increased responsibility under Rick Tocchet and how much he wants to continue to improve, especially in terms of consistency. And then the last guy in that group was Kyle Burroughs, and he doesn't have a contract. He's a UFA, but he loved his 2 years in Vancouver, playing in front of his family and friends as a hometown boy, a dream come true. And he's still working hard to establish himself as a full-time NHLer. So there you go, Canucks fans. All 16 players, some sound bites from all 16 of them. And the one thing overarching that I hinted at that these players talked about, yes, the season sucked. Yes, they all want to have a big summer. Yes, they want to come out to a quick start in October. But they all talked about how much they like Rick Tocchet, the way he manages them, coaches them, teaches them, the way that he has structure, runs his practices, run the bench, all those things. So while none of them said that it was a complete contrast to Boudreau, and he's so much better than Boudreau, you can kind of tell that Boudreau, after the bump wore off, and although the fans loved him, that maybe he wasn't the best X's and O's coach, even not the best motivator. He was likable for sure, but there seems to be this underlying tone, not a real negative or accusatory tone, but more of a tone of, yeah, we kind of needed a breath of fresh air. We needed a different voice, and we needed to change the way we were doing things. So Canucks fans, go check out their Canucks YouTube. Is all of them up there. Go check it out. Tell me if you agree with, or if you listen to it live, tell me if you agree with my sentiments, or if there's anything else I missed. Tell me if there's anything that any of the players said that you really resonated with you, or that rubs you the wrong way for whatever reason. And make sure you leave me a question if you're a member for my Ask Me Anything tomorrow. And definitely make sure you check out my NHL playoff confidence pool. The link is right in the description. Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Express Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. And thanks to all of you for supporting me on my channel. I always appreciate you. I never take you for granted. On your way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a tip, become a member, upgrade your membership, and definitely join my playoff pool. And I hope to see you tomorrow night. I'll do one more week of 5 nightly live streams, and then we'll see what happens after that. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.